Welcome back, everyone, to theCUBE's live stream here at FinOps X 2026 here in San Diego. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE, my co-host Paul Nashawaty with theCUBE Research, breaking down all the action around the value creation with AI, and the cost to provide them is turning into quite the horizontal platform, bringing a lot of adjacent sectors together. And of course, it comes down to running large scale infrastructure, powering that new software paradigm. Laurent Gil here, founder and president of Cast AI. Laurent, great to see you on theCUBE. We're chatting away about our trip to Paris, but we're here in San Diego. Not too bad here.
Not too bad indeed. Great to see you as well, and great to see you again, man. It's a long time.
You guys are OGs in the FinOps world and Kubernetes. So take us through your thoughts on what's happening in FinOps right now, because we're seeing, the three kind of things coming together, disciplines that were once siloed, now cloud scale, hybrid cloud is now one, it's fully distributed computing. Okay, now you got on-prem exploding and data center growth, edges coming. It isn't going to get less complicated.
It's so exciting.
What's your view about what's happening?
It's so exciting. I think I know it's a little bit of a cliche now because we hear this all the time, but AI is changing what we do, and it's changing it for the better. It does things that the human cannot do. You see, a lot of people misconcept. They feel, oh my God, AI is taking my job. No, AI is going to do things you can't do anyway, and it's going to multiply you many, many times over. And sometimes I tell my developers something really cool. Now we are all senior developers.
Yeah.
Even those that know nothing about how to do code can do a vibe coding app. And it's just so cool. I can't wait.
Everyone's an AI app builder, and if they can build a prototype, just give it to the engineering team. Shadow AI has kicked in as a big topic. People in finance are doing projects, they're like tasting the IT developer bug, and going, wow, I get it. It's an aha moment you're having in organizations.
And even I can do it. How about that? My team said, don't touch the line of code, but now I can.
Yeah, just prompt it.
Yes, and what is also very interesting, and I think we still don't know the consequence of this, is, imagine this, you come out of school, you're an intern, and this is normal things, right? You're an intern, but how are you going to hire someone that's just out of school if someone else with a few years experience can do much better than the person? That's the wrong way of thinking. Now you go out of school, you start as a senior developer.
Yeah.
Because this is how good you are now.
Yeah, but Laurent, you're absolutely right. I mean, when AI was kind of starting out and kind of figuring the main adoption, a lot of organizations I was talking to on the developer side were basically saying, look, we're not going to hire any new hires, any new entry-level positions, because we can have AI do it, right? The problem with that is, when you look at the skill gap, the skill hiring, right? You hire a new college hire, and we've all had a rite of passage to get where we are, right?
We were that.
We were that.
20 years ago, right? Oh,
maybe about five or so, yeah, whatever.
But you learn a lot during that process.
You do learn a lot, right? And the thing is so my argument back to those organizations was, if you don't hire a new college hire, what are you going to do in 3 to 5 years when you want a senior level person?
Yes, they don't exist. They will not exist.
They won't exist.
Exactly. I have this thing, so you can ask Claude this question, is what are the top 10 jobs that suffer from AI, and the top 10 jobs that will increase from AI? And the one that suffer from AI is financial analyst. The one that will benefit from AI is senior investment banker. But wait a minute, how can you be a senior investment banker if you were not a junior financial analyst when you started your career? It doesn't work this way. The way to think about it is, any junior financial analyst looks like a senior financial analyst, because now they have things in their power. They can do things that a senior could have done with 5 years experience. They can do it in their first week.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I like it.
But the other thing is organizations now have to look at, with these, whether you're a junior level or senior level employee, if you're a line of business or a professional developer, how do you measure the generated token spend that's going out there? Because that's a big factor here, right?
I think we're going to stay here for a few hours to talk about it. So
Overtime.
I have my view on this. So first, a token is not the same as another token. So LLMs have differences. Not just some are more sophisticated than others, but some are more specialized than others. So if you are doing if you need a coding agent, then you're gonna select a certain type of LLM that you probably not use if you're a lawyer and ask a generic question. Yeah. So choosing your LLM is very important. And then you can compare, or you look at the return of investment of what a token is giving it to me. Some other people say, oh, you have to measure the outcome. Well, how do you measure the outcome when you're doing coding? Is it the quality of the code? Is it the quality of the application at the end? Nobody understands this very, very well. Yeah. My answer to this is you use AI to select AI. And that's what we do in my company. So if you need to do a coding exercise, then go to your harness and write be very smart in your prompt and let the harness decide for you which LLM it will choose for that particular piece of the job. And what we see now, and we use this all the time internally in my company, is that it's never the same. And it never starts by the same way. You may use a high-end LLM first, and then the coding side that is more commodity, you may use an open source. But when I say you may, it means the machine will select that for you because you as a human, you only want the outcome. Yeah. Not how it produces the outcome.
You know, you bring up a great point. I mean, there's an old expression, don't play chess if you don't know what checkmate looks like.
Yes.
And so what you're getting at here is that AI can make people look smarter, and they might not know that they don't know the game that they're playing. So you got to know the game. If you're a coder, you got to kind of know, I guess, how the computer works, how architecture works. So the skill, the upskilling and the reskilling has become up big. You brought it up multiple times here. This is where I'm seeing that, because you're right, AI scales intellect.
Yep.
You can be intelligent, but if you don't know what the code should do, you don't know where it's, and I think this comes up a lot in every conversation. What's your reaction to that?
That's the point. That's exactly the point, and this is why we say now to our own developers, you write a very good prompt that describes the outcome you want this application to have. Sometimes it's a piece of it, right? These are real developers, so they go very deep into it. You never look at the code, because why would you need to? You don't need to. You ask an AI engine to do that for you, and to grade the outcome, to grade the result of it. You don't really care which model is being used as long as you get an A+ at the end. So you have some feedback loop like this that continuously improve the quality of the code until you get the A+.
So outcome based.
Done.
Outcome is the base.
Yes.
It's like scouting an athlete.
Exactly.
You got to know.
And the outcome is decided by the AI agent itself.
All right, so
agent selection. So you got to know pick the right agent is the new skill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, we're at FinOps X, right? It's an open source conference, right? There's different token usage for open source projects versus production and commercial projects. What should the FinOps production and teams look at? How should they treat tokens for spending on open source projects versus commercial projects?
So, I'm a big fan of open source.
Yeah,
to start with, and so this is a very difficult discussion to have because people have belief into this. But I'm a big fan of open source, not because it's open source, but because it gives you the flexibility to use it as much as you want. Yep. So what I hate the most with enterprises is a developer tell me, oh, I am out of my budget. It's like, you have a laptop in front of you. It's like someone tell you, oh, you can use this laptop, the battery lasts 1 hour, and you can only charge once a day. That's what it feels when you run out of tokens.
Unless you upgrade and pay for the battery, which they will go faster, which Claude does. That's why they're printing money.
And then suddenly you pay $30,000 a month in your. This is the issue that we see with a lot of our customers. My answer to this is, you have a laptop, it will work 24 hours a day, you have unlimited battery, because as a developer, this is existential to you.
So this is not, you bring up a great point, because I was joking about Club, but that's what happens. You're working on a great project, I'm about to get the final answer, and it says, oh, you use all your tokens. Yes. But that is an artificial, that's the battery, to your point. So the mechanism's changing. How do you see that unfolding? You see these AI factories, these new super God boxes, the NVIDIA, Dell, PCs that are on your desk that's got GPUs in it. What's the answer to solve the problem?
But so my take on this is, it's all you can eat, it's unlimited, use a very good token optimization in the background so it doesn't break the bank, but don't tell your developers they can only work an hour a day.
Can't do that.
It's all you can eat for them. And let us, in the FinOps world, worry about token cost, token optimization. Our job is to make it happen for our users to use it as much as they want.
Laurent, you're right on the money, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I think we're riffing on a really cool topic, because that's the current situation.
Yeah.
If you look at cloud sandboxing, why did that come about? Because these free-ranging projects were fast and loose, sprawl everywhere. Sandbox was a controlled state where you can get it formed, then get the budget, then scale it. So you're seeing what you just said is a template potentially for, hey, go build stuff, and then scope the costs to scale. And that's a lot of what we see in the enterprise, because the costs are out of control because no one's actually scoped or put guardrails other than cutting them off.
Yes, so, yeah, and that's the worst guardrail, which is cutting them off. Oh, you're out of tokens, you're out of budget. I see it very different way. Have us, executive at those companies, worry about how we supply you the token, but use them without any guardrail or any blocking. Use them as much as you want. We will ensure that you have as many as you need. And how do we do this? This is what we told before. You use open source, you use smart model routing, so use a simple model for simple tasks, a more complex model for complex tasks. Guess how many times you have a complex task on a 1 hour of a developer job? 5%.
Yeah.
Why do you use Opus for 100% if you can use it only for 5%? Use a commodity is a bad word, a better word is, use a simple open source or a simple model for the rest.
It's quality of service concepts.
Yes.
You know, you don't need to use the Vera Rubin processor.
For all of it.
For all of it, you use it for the hard stuff.
That's right. And when you do this, you do token optimization. Like if I can tell you, you can use something, it looks like cloud, it feels like cloud, but it's 80% cheaper.
So, all right, so let's talk about that.
I love that.
So when we look at this token optimization, what steps are being taken right now to move in that direction?
Well, this is also a very loaded question. I was going to say, well, just look at my website, but no, don't do that way. It is this idea that you have to use more automation. You have to use autonomous automation. It's weird to say it in the same sentence, but autonomous means it's self-heal by itself.
Yep.
Automation means it does it repetitively all the time. The word autonomous also implies feedback loops. So meaning you want to do a piece, it's self-grade, it improves until it's ready. When it's ready, it will tell you, I'm done. And when it says, I'm done, you get a grade and you say, oh, I'm happy, it is what I wanted. And it still can cost you 80% less because of the word autonomous automation. That is a process that got you into where you want to be. That is really what I believe is going to happen for the token economy, is use these self-healing autonomous techniques that will select the right place, the right model, at the right cost. Don't use our great friend at Anthropic all the time if you don't need to, and they themselves will be the first one to tell you this.
So yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. It's going to be impacts to like AI factories. It's going to be different changes in how things are being used.
I mean, it's a portfolio approach. Entry level, mid-range, high-end services. We've seen this movie before, but no one's actually instrumented it enough to figure out. And that's why model routing's on the main stage.
Yes.
And context and governance are top topics, because I mean, if you look at like the Kubernetes container movement in cloud native, a lot of grinding went through fixing that.
Oh yes,
okay.
I know, that's what I do for a living.
I know, that's why I brought it up. So how does that, but that was over time, there's a lot of good, it wasn't as fast paced, it was just like a nice airplane taking off. Now it's just like a rocket ship. How do you see you getting arms around that, and how should people think about it from a mechanism standpoint? What's the system look like? What's your vision on that?
So, I don't know if you remember when we met the first time, we were talking about automation, and some people were telling us, automation? This is bad, meaning the thing is doing things
Yeah.
without my control,
yeah.
without me doing it
Yeah,
by hand.
I remember, yeah.
And remember, we had this hard time saying, well, FinOps should not be about these beautiful reporting tools that have green, yellow, and red. It should be all green because you have something watching it all the time. And I think now we are there. And this is a moment I enjoy very much. We saw this 5 years ago. We felt automation is the key, autonomous automation is the key. Now everybody see it and everybody embrace it. It's a lot easier than you think now to manage cloud native, to manage Kubernetes, to manage containers. You know why? You don't need to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's right.
Someone else,
an
agent, is doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we have agents, our agents, they buy millions of CPUs every day. You read in the news, oh, agents are going to buy things. Well, we did this 5 years ago. Our agents buy millions of CPU on AWS, Google, Azure, Oracle, on-prem, Nebius, CoreWeave, Crusoe, all the time.
I mean, it's like electricity now. It's almost like the way the algorithms are abstracting away the complexity. It's just hardened infrastructure, but a lot of stuff's going on under the covers. But now you got developers coming in that are AI native. What is your vision of this AI native intersection with cloud native? Because DevSecOps was a great movement, but it kind of looks the same, but it's different. There's still infrastructure layer at the agentic. It feels like data ops meets smart models, smart agents. What's your vision of that?
I think the era we live now is the end of the manual era. It's finished. It's finished. It's better because it's finished. We live in the era where you can dictate what you want your thing to behave. You're a bank, you dictate how you want the credit application to run. Sometimes people say, oh, the flow of user is wrong, it's broken. You don't need to say it anymore. Fix it for me. And then you have an agent that runs in the background, select the right model, use open source when it's cheaper, with token optimization, and the outcome is the credit flow is going to be beautiful. We have a new product for token dashboard, right, for FinOps, where we show cost per token, per model, per user, per team. It took us a month to build it. It took us 2 years to build the previous one.
Right.
And we are better that way.
Yeah.
I think this is the revolution, is you don't need to do the thing, but you need to be very smart in asking what you want the thing to be, and then trust companies like our and many others in this conference to make sure that it will be done at the right cost.
Well, I think this is going to be an explosive growth opportunity for your business, because the cloud native wave is going to propel, and it's going to be the same characters involved with more people migrating in. The in-migration to the intersection of finance is going to be, because that's where the rubber meets the road, because at the end of the day, everything changes. Total cost of ownership, payback, valuation of results, and then revenue generation, all there. Now, when we were doing the IT stuff in Shadow IT, it was like, oh yeah, just get better efficiency, and I don't want to buy a data center. Here, it's this direct business impact. So I think there's going to be a lot of hands in this world,
and I'm
going to be very interested.
I love this world. And we are lucky because we are living it. It reminds me the year 2000 when we started to say, oh, there is something called the internet. You can buy your ticket online. What? I don't need to go to the agency anymore. Now you tell your phone, hey, I'm thinking of going somewhere this weekend. Can you find out where? And this is my budget. Please find the plane ticket, find the hotel. What should I do over there? You see, now you can do it this way. You become better as a human.
I just saw Marzan, who's the executive director of the Agentic AI Foundation, just launched. Similar concept, they both put CNCF, a new foundation here, FinOps, and you got now Tokenomics. The growth, MCP is great, but that's still another one. You got Agent Gateway, there's a lot of big projects coming. And here we see, I don't really see the vision yet, I'm sure you do. What are the big projects involved in this ecosystem? What's going to be the big thing that we don't see?
So today, GR announced the new foundation, Tokenomics.
Right.
I'm a founding premier board member of that new foundation. I can't sign it because it's not written yet. Like, this is how excited I am to that world. I am convinced it was a right move by GR, by the FinOps Foundation. I am convinced it's much bigger than the FinOps as we think it is today. I'll give you one thought to finish. We have customers they are spending 6 or 7 times more in GPU, meaning inference, in GPU cost, than they are in cloud.
Yeah.
And that tells you everything.
I think FinOps could be repositioned or morph into the most important thing, because the name is great. DevOps, FinOps, so that speaks to the money. And you have other elements around it, not just cloud savings. So I think there's going to be a CFO, CHRO narrative that the CIO and CISO are all going to blend in and team up.
And you know,
hit it. And they're going to need to go to a FinOps person. Now, it might be different. Again, this is really radical thinking, but what do you think? Because it's just a clean positioning.
Yes, you know what I'm telling my guys sometimes? The great job that is changing is product manager. They can code.
Right.
You know, before it used to be negotiation. Oh, I want the thing to be this color, this word, around this, it has to do all these actions. And now we tell them, just write it.
PRD, here's the prototype.
Yes.
They build the prototypes.
You see how better we are
it's better.
with this? This is why I say we are lucky. We're living this year, and we started the foundation today, announced with by GR. I can't wait to see my colleagues and my peers in that place, and we're going to do the revolution. It's happening, and we're so lucky to see it happening in real time.
Revolution is here, and the growth, the acceleration, there's money on the table, there's value creation, there's value extraction, and
value
revenue.
Creation.
Yeah, I mean, it's really all popping. Laurent, thank you so much for coming on. Cast AI, congratulations. We'll see you in Paris at the Raise Summit.
Oh yes, I'll see you in July.
See you in July, and we'll talk soon. This conversation will not end. We could go an hour here, but we only have a couple hours here for today. I'm John Furrier with Paul Nashawaty. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.